this video is for Tuesday, March 24th. So after you read the chapter, you're going to be doing the part of your lap book where you write a letter to Sarah. Now, we've written letters before, so I'm going to remind you of what letter format looks like. Now, I did a little picture that I put on the website to kind of remind you of letter format. So I had this little printable that is just for you to look at to see what a letter is like. So when we've done this in class before, we always put the date at the top. So you're going to put the date at the top, and then you're going to put your greeting here. So in this case, you're going to put Dear Sarah, comma. And the reason that there's a person is just so you get the feeling like this is the heading. The heading is like where the head is, where you're putting the date. And this is the greeting when you're waving to the person. That's where you're putting Dear Sarah. Then you're going to indent, and this is the body. So this is the body of the person. This is the body of your letter. That's what you're saying. And then your closing is kind of like you're going to be leaving. You're going to say from or sincerely. And then your signature. You're walking away. You're leaving your footprints. So that's the format to write your letter. But you're going to do it just on a piece of paper like so. You're going to put your date up in the corner. And it's going to be March 24th, 2020. Then you put your greeting. Dear Sarah. We're capitalizing both of those. And a comma. Now you're going to have the body of your letter. You're going to indent and you're going to write your message. Don't indent again. Write your message. As much as it takes, doesn't have to be too long, several sentences, put a period, maybe 3 sentences. And then at the end, you're in the middle of the page, you're going to put from or sincerely. Remember, Sarah's not their mom yet, so just put from. And then you're going to either put Caleb or Anna. So let's say I'm going to be Caleb, and I'm going to put Caleb. If you're Anna, put Anna there. So you're doing this from the point of view of one of the kids. Now remember, we did point of view just a couple weeks ago where you were a shoe and you had to write everything from the point of view of a shoe. You were telling how the shoe felt. Now in this case, you're going to be writing it from the point of view of Caleb or from Anna, one of the kids, asking Sarah some questions or telling her something that you learned in the book. And then what you do for your lap book is you have this paper and you're going to make a pocket. So you're going to cut this out, and then it's going to make a little pocket, and you're going to fold the letter and put it inside. Now, if for some reason you can't find that school paper that I gave you, you can write it on another piece of lined paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to fold this, and then when you glue it on, you're going to glue here and here to make a little pocket. And then you glue that whole thing on your lap book, and then you'll be able to fit the letter inside. And it's okay if the letter sticks out a little bit. You can stick it in here. Just see how much room there is. You probably have to fold it one more time, and it's going to be like that. And of course, you have a little chart that shows where everything goes on the lap book. If I look at my picture, this little booklet is this little pocket, is going to be right here. So I glue that down, and then this should be able to come in and out. Let's go ahead and look at our spelling and our handwriting next that you would be doing during your centers. So this is a really simple page. Again, you're going to color yellow, green, or purple. In girl is yellow. So you read the word. If it's in girl, you're going to color it yellow. And then in fire is green, and in crier is purple. Now let's go over what the words are that are in the pictures. This is also on the grade length. I wrote it down for you. This is pliers. This is wire. This is bird. This is skirt. This is tire. And this is dryer. Now there's probably a couple of words that you don't know what they mean here. So let's look at this. Mire is kind of like when there's like a really muddy, icky land, they might say it's a mire, and sometimes people get stuck in it, like it's kind of like mud. And then, okay,
let's look at.
So sire would be a way to talk to somebody who's important, who's a man. They would say like, yes, sire. And it's also the male parent of an animal, like a horse that was the male parent would be a sire. Okay, a spire is like that pointed, when they have those really pointy churches, it would be the top part there. And let's see, let's also maybe like higher. You might not know that word. Higher, this kind of higher is not like I climbed up higher in the tree. This is like you hire somebody to do a job. So if you're a business and you hire somebody, it means somebody's going to work for you, and then you're going to pay them. They are, you would hire them. I'm going to show you your handwriting book. Now, you're going to use pencil. I'm just using this pen so it's nice and dark so you can see what I'm doing. All right, so for the M, the capital M, we're going to make a little tail, and we're going to make 2 humps like a camel, trying to stay on the line. Now, this is where it gets tricky. For the lowercase m, we're going to put an extra hump in cursive. So watch, you're going to do 1, 2, 3 humps. I used to get so confused about this when I was a kid. Making 3 humps, I would get confused. So remember, M has more humps, just on the lowercase. Okay, for math, we're going to be doing the chapter review, which is page 579 to 582. And every chapter we do a review, and it's 4 pages. So the first page is vocabulary. These are the words. You fill it in so it makes sense. Then you're going to do some graphing. They're going to give you some data, and you're going to make a picture graph, a bar graph, and a line graph. Make sure you make the right kind of graph when they're asking you to make the graphs, and then you're going to answer some questions. So today's Tuesday, so you're going to be doing the review on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday, you're going to bring that to our Zoom session, and we'll go over it and see how you did, and I can pop up the answers on the screen, and you can kind of see if you know it or not, because we're going to be doing a test on that on Thursday, and I just want to make sure you get it. All right, so remember, Zoom is always at 9:15 every day. Bring your math book, and at the beginning of the session, I'll tell you if you need anything else. Your next activity is going to be the one where you go on your computer to Scholastic, and you're going to read some books and do an activity. So this time, it's going to be week 1, day 2, and it's going to be about weather. So read the books, and then you have your paper that looks like this. You should have 5 stapled in a booklet. Go to your second one, and you're going to get to do a little activity, and the activity is kind of fun. It reminds me of the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, if you've ever seen that. There's a saying that goes, it's raining cats and dogs. And what that means is it's raining a lot. And so what you're going to do is you're going to think of, what would you like it to rain and why? And so you draw a picture of it raining whatever you want. It doesn't have to be cats and dogs. It doesn't have to be food. It can be whatever you want. And then just put Y and draw. Okay, for our last activity, we're going to be going back to our language booklet that looks like this. And we're going to be doing pages 5 and 6 about nouns. So let me tell you a little bit about these pages. We're going to be talking about when we're doing a plural noun, usually you would add an S. But like we talked about in our spelling list, sometimes when your word ends in Y, you change the Y to I before adding the endings. Like we had cry becomes crier. Now, if you wanted to make it plural, you wouldn't add ire, but you might add IES and drop the Y. So let me show you in this book that I would be reading you if you were here today. So if you were in the class, I'd probably read this whole book, and in this book, it talks about plurals. And if it ends in a consonant and then a Y, add ES after changing the Y to an I, like in butterflies, daisies, pansies, and berries, blue-footed boobies, and yellow canaries. That's what these things are right here. Now, the other thing you're going to be doing on the next page is you're going to just be having some irregular ones, which means they're not regular, not going to be adding S or ES. So look at this one, for example. Some change in the middle, like foot to feet. So it's just completely different than any other plurals. It doesn't have anything to do with S. So that's what you're going to be doing on these 2 pages. Changing Y to I, adding ES. And then on this page, you just have a bunch of irregular ones, like foot changes to feet, goose changes to geese, mouse changes to mice, and that kind of. Okay, the last thing you need to do is, if you have not finished your science report, to make sure you work on that a little bit today, because by Friday, you need to be done. Now, I noticed there were a couple people who already turned theirs in. That's great. So if you haven't finished it, work on that a little bit today. Try to do 1 page today so that by Friday, you can turn that in. Now, I usually give you a recess activity. So this time, I really liked Samuel's idea when he made a skinny sculpture, how he made a basketball hoop to go with it. So what I'd like you to do is, you can take any of your little toys, or you can take your skinny sculpture, and I want you to make some accessory that's not made out of aluminum foil that goes with it. So he made a basketball hoop out of cardboard and just some things he had laying around the house. So you can either do that with your skinny sculpture, or you can take your Legos or your little dolls or whatever you want and make something that your little people can play with, or your little animals, like if you have little dogs or something like that, something that they can play with, just made out of your recyclable things that you have at your house. So you can use cardboard, you can use paper, you can use tape, you can use water bottles, just whatever you have at your house. That's an extra activity. If you'd like to send me a picture and have some fun with that, you can do that. Now, for extra credit activities this week, the only thing I'm putting on your list is, if you'd like to do extra credit, you can do the homework pages in your math book and turn those in if you'd like. And then Mrs. Moore, on the website, on the grade link, she has some extra credit things that she's been compiling. She's gathered lots of resources. So if you still need more to do, you can go on Mrs. Moore's ideas and pick something to do. And remember, if you want to be featured, send me a picture and we'll all look at it and see how great you're doing. I noticed Mr. Drain was doing some trick shots on his videos. So, Mr. Drain, take this.
Right.